पालना दी मम्मा, नैनों के पलने में जो पालना दी मम्मा, और दृष्टि से लोरियां सुनाई तूने।
नजरों से सहलाया, प्यार से बहलाया, नजरों से सहलाया, प्यार से बहलाया, जिंदगानी लाखों की बनाई तूने। नैनों के पलने में जो पालना दी मम्मा, नैनों के पलने में जो पालना दी मम्मा।
अपनी भी याद और अपना बाकी भी याद, तो इसको कहेंगे कि याद, रिलेशन सहित याद, इसको कहेंगे है भी याद तो रिलेशन सहित। कि आई एम सोल, अपनी भी, मैं क्या हूँ, और अब सन ऑफ सुप्रीम सोल, तो रिलेशन से। तो क्या रिलेशन से हमको उसकी माइट, वसा जिसको कहते हैं, वो प्राप्त रहेगा। इसीलिए वो रिलेशन भी पकड़ना है। अगर रिलेशन नहीं पकड़ेंगे तो वसा नहीं मिलेगा। आई एम दैट मन, आई एम सुप्रीम सोल, तो फिर कहाँ से वसा मिलेगा? यू आर सुप्रीम सोल, देन नो इनहेरिटेंस। कहाँ से मिलेगा? फादर रखेंगे तो फिर फादर से मिलेंगे। तो रिलेशन है। वैसे तो ये भी मनुष्य है, आपका बच्चा भी तो मनुष्य है, परंतु रिलेशन से आपके प्रॉपर्टी के ऊपर, बकरी के ऊपर हक लगेगा, हाँ लगेगा ना, जो भी प्रॉपर्टी होगी। लेकिन रिलेशन नहीं है तो वो भी मैन है, वो भी मैन है, तो कोई बात ही नहीं है ना। हाँ, तो खाली आई एम सोल उससे भी काम नहीं। सन ऑफ, सन तो वो रिलेशन की पावर जो है ना वो भी काम करती। जैसे ये भी मैन, हाँ चलो फिर तो कोई है नहीं, पर तू देखो ग्रैंडसन और ग्रैंडफादर, तो रिलेशन भी पावर है ना। तो ये रिलेशन माइट, तो रिलेशन से हम उनसे अपना पावर लेते हैं, तो हमारा उसकी जायदाद के ऊपर हक रखता है। तो देखो कोर्ट भी रिलेशन लेगी, उनकी देखेंगी, कोई आज झूठा बनाए रिलेशन तो जांच करेंगी, ये करेंगी, यहाँ ब्लड देखेंगी, ये करेंगी, यहाँ कहीं होती है नहीं कोर्ट भी बना, तो भाई इनके ब्लड का है, ये है, तो देखो ब्लड कनेक्शन, रिलेशन उसका भी, तो कोर्ट भी अपनी दावा रखेंगी कि नहीं ये इनकी जायदाद है। हमारा भी तो कनेक्शन, आई एम सन ऑफ सुप्रीम सोल, तो हम भी उसके जायदाद के ऊपर रिलेशन से अपना हक रखते, तो रखना है ना, ये पावर है, ये माइट है। अब इसी से हम उससे वो कंप्लीट ताकत लेते हैं जिससे मनुष्य ऊंचा बनता है। और प्रभु के धारणाओं से फिर हम अपने मनुष्य में पावर में रहते हैं, मनुष्य होकर के पावर में रहते हैं, जिससे हमको ये पावर आती है, हेल्थ वेल्थ एवरीथिंग प्राप्त होती है। तो ये माइट लेनी है ना। आई एम फादर, हाँ तो फादर तो फिर सन, नो इनहेरिटेंस, हाँ तो खत्म हो जाती है नहीं, नो सन नो इनहेरिटेंस। आई एम फादर तो नो, आई एम दैट करेंगे, हाँ आई एम फादर नो रिलेशन नो इनहेरिटेंस, कट ऑफ हो जाए। तो वो योग कटता है, वो योग लगता नहीं है, वो कटता है, तो वो कटिंग है, और वो योग लगाना है, उसे माइट लेनी है तो मिलेंगी। वो ऐसे पावर आएंगी, वो ऐसे पावर निकल जाएंगी, और ही बेमुख बनेंगे, क्योंकि आई एम है ना। तो कायदा ये सभी सूक्ष्म बातें, ये सूक्ष्म जो बुद्धि के होंगे ना वो समझेंगे, उनके बुद्धि में आएंगे, तो वो भी तो हमारे फादर है ना, सुप्रीम सोल। तो अभी उसे लेना है, बस एक रिश्ता, फादर एंड सन। सन हम सब आत्मा है, आई एम सन, नॉट डॉटर, आई एम सन, जो आत्मा है ना, तो आई एम सन, यू आर बी सन। सन ऐसे नहीं बॉडी के हिसाब से, बॉडी तो आपकी मेल है, हमारी भले फीमेल है, लेकिन आत्मा जो है ना तो आई एम सन। तो सन को तो हक मिलेगा ना, हक लेना है, तो सन को मिलेगा प्रॉपर्टी का, तो आई एम सन नॉट डॉटर। परंतु हाँ फिर आते हैं ब्रह्मातन में आते हैं ना, तो फिर ब्रह्मा के द्वारा बैठ कर करके ये रचना रची है, तो फिर दादा, तो दादा की तो जरूर मिलेंगी, हाँ तो ग्रैंडफादर हो गया ना।
रत्न लुटाए तूने, सौभाग्य जगाए तूने, रत्न लुटाए तूने, सौभाग्य जगाए तूने, ऐसी गान मुरली बनाई तूने।
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vyakti Parivar. Today is day 23rd. Smriti Swarup. Jagdamba. Lap of love. Love sees and accepts. Mama's Mahamantra. Not only is God watching me, but also the whole world is watching me at every step. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti, everyone. Is there anyone who was in Gyan when Mama was in body? Anyone? No one. Yeah, that's what I felt yesterday, that most of you have not seen Mama or experienced her love and lap of love. I was very fortunate to be there at that time. As you all know, that Mama left her physical body in 1965, and I came in Gyan in 58. But even before that, I met Mama because she used to come to Delhi. And I was very fortunate to have very loving, very friendly relationship with Mama. And because of that, I really have lots of deep love and respect for Mama. Mama, as you all know, came to Baba when she was a teenager, and she was yet in school studying. She started visiting Omanli with her mother, both of them, and she loved it, and like she was very inspired. And as soon as she finished school, she, with her mother, started coming every morning for satsang at Baba's home. And then when Baba will be chanting Om, and Baba will talk about knowledge, but Mama used to play flute, very beautiful. And so she will play sometimes. But then also in the beginning, when we all go to Baba to listen Murli from Brahma Baba, I remember also that Baba will just immediately after Murli, call you, come in front, child, sit on here on the stage, and within 5 minutes, you share the main points of Murli, essence of Murli. He used to say Murli Kasar. So in the beginning, like first time it's like, oh, how can I do it? But then it became like, it was very good because you can capture all the points in such a way that you were able to share. There will be sometimes few hundred, sometimes thousands in Delhi. And so I think that Mama also, Baba will ask her to revise Murli. So Mama will listen Murli, Mama will read Murli, and then of course Mama had a very, very good habit of studying Murli. Many say, oh, I listen Murli, oh, I read in the train, I just read. They think Murli is like reading, right? Not as a study. Now, what is the difference? If you are a engineer student, if you are a doctor or anything, how do you study? Do you just read it? No, you try to understand, then you try to capture it in such a way that you remember that what it is, so that when it's the time for you to use that knowledge, you are very clear about it. Like a doctor has to be very clear how to diagnose and what medicine to give. And then in the beginning, there is basic, and then it's the details, and it's more details and more details. And I think you must have heard that at any stage, again, doctors have to go for some kind of review of their studies. And I know that if father and son, they are doctors, then at present, like there are so many new technology, new medicine. So I saw one father, he says, I have to consult. Anything happen, he said, oh, let me consult my son. He's also doctor. And then he was telling me that things are changing so much that we have to keep studying. So study is not something I just read morely. And then a point come, you say, but the same thing. No, I read it. It was same points, right? But it's the same points even in medical. But when they are applied, they are different, right? So Mama was studying in the sense of that she will reflect on Murli and she will write points and then she will make connection with one point to another. So it was a very nice way to study and to contemplate. So Baba noticed that she is very good. All dadis, one of their specialty was study, right? They study morely. We say we read morely, right? They never said I read morely because they used to listen morely and then study it. And at that time, you don't get copy of Morley or Morley in email, right? So you have to make notes in the morning. And some were very good in making notes. We had Shantamani Dadi, one or two other Dadis. They will make notes of the Morley. And then they will sit together and they reflect. They churn on the points of the Morley. So Mama will sit in solitude and go into depth of Morley, try to understand. And understanding actually is, in Hindi we call it samaj. That I do understand, that means now not only I know it, but I understand it. And then they use that understanding into their thinking, in their words, in their actions. So then they are called very sensible. And this one is very sensible because she has understood and made the sense of every understanding, every aspects of knowledge. So Baba noticed that when she will speak, she will clarify each point. I think you all must have read book, Mama's book, in which Mama is taking one point. She can talk for 10, 15 minutes. And that was her deep, deep reflection, deep journey. And so it was very beautiful. So Baba, start telling Mama that in the morning before Baba comes, you will speak morely for 10 minutes. All dadis, they give very good classes, but we call them as classes, not morely. Baba's morely, then we say Mama's morely. Because Mama would never adulterate her ideas, her beliefs, or her thoughts. Generally, it happens, maybe we try to explain, and while explaining, we start putting deep within, what do I understand? So the truth, the way it is understood by Mama, was amazing. That is why we could call Mama Murli, because she was speaking the knowledge, not a single word coming from her own mind. Even the explanation, of course, could be little bit in detail, but nothing was mixed, right? So that is why Baba felt and gave her this authority that she could speak every morning before Baba. and that will be called Murli. Because Baba used to come at 7, and later on it happened that Baba will come 10 past 7. So Mama will come at 7, a song will be played, Mama will speak for 10 minutes, very, very lovely, beautifully. And when the knowledge is from God, you have heard Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba speaks through Brahma Baba. It's just loving talk, talking to children with lot of love. So it was never like a serious lecture, right? Very, very beautifully. So Mama also, even she got this authority, but she was very, very sweet. When she talked Murli, she spoke Murli. As you all heard, no, Mama was speaking now, even it was loud and fast, but then all were laughing, you know. It was like she's chatting, she's having conversation. Because Baba used to say, Father doesn't give lecture to children. So there was a time Baba didn't want a mic. He said, I only want to speak and speak. You know, it was a small history hall in the beginning. Baba doesn't want mic because then it will become lecture. So it's like that sweetness, you know, that the truth where you don't have to prove anything. Like we try to prove, you know, we try to convince, otherwise we argue. I know Brahma Baba always said you cannot argue, but we're trying to answer question and trying to convince. Why should we convince? You speak the truth, and that authority is there of truth, but you stay humble and very sweet. So if you are humble and sweet, then start touching the souls. So internally you have authority, but you don't have to use authority. The way we speak sometimes is really, really, it looks like using the force of authority. No, there has to be humility, knowing that yes, there is authority of truth, but also very gentle and sweet. You know, these days when lectures are given, it's like uh, quite loud, quite way of, you know, giving the points, but not the way Baba Mama gave us knowledge, because it's nectar. Right? Knowledge is nectar. So it has to be gentle, it has to be very, very sweet. So at that time, there were about 300 plus Baba's children in Yagya, those who had surrendered. So to take care of them was a lot of responsibility. So of course, every group, mothers, children, brothers, everyone had their own instrument, or they used to call as in charge or controller. And they will take care of children, they will take care of. But still, like Baba said, that Brahma Baba is in the male body. So there is someone needed who has to take care of Yagya. And Mama at that time was 23 years, 22 years old. And Baba told her that, of course, she was given name Saraswati, Brahma Kumari Saraswati, because of her, the way she will speak Murli. But then everyone start calling her Mama. Can you imagine a young girl of 23? But Mama accepted her role so nicely, in a very natural way. She started that motherly love. And you all know that when it's big gathering, it's not personal issues, but sometimes, you know, little things here, there happen. And everyone is making efforts. Everyone has their own limits. And sometimes there are little differences or even personal internal issues. So before, like, they will go, sometimes they are hesitant, but then Baba wanted to go beyond that. So they will go to Mama. One of the motherly qualities to listen. First you listen before coming to conclusion, before start giving teachings, right? You have to listen. Good parents will always say, okay, let's listen what child has to say. And then based on that, whatever has to be explained. And then Mama had two things. One is Murli, other is Srimad, right? So she will explain based on the Murli, this is Baba's teaching. This is what Baba says. She will never say, I'm telling you this. This is what you have to do. No. So Mama never took authority in the way as if she has to give instructions. She will use Murli, and from Murli she will say, no, Baba tells us about this, or she will say, Baba Shrimad is that we should not do this. No? As you have heard, that sometimes we try to be very judgmental and even we don't have authority, then we start kind of punishing people in their own way. But Mama used to say, if someone makes mistake and come to you and say, you say yes, Baba will forgive one time. You go with Baba, sit with Baba, or write to Baba. Second time also, but not third time. The way she will explain that one time you made, second time Baba might forget, but not third time. But she won't be forceful by saying, now you did this, so you cannot do this, or you will be. No, never. Because Mama, and we all know we cannot take law in our hands. It's in God's hands. So it was a real kind of humility and authority, as I say, very, very good balance. And that's why she could maintain her sweetness. So sustenance continued, but also, as today I saw a beautiful thing came about Mama as the first administrative head. At time, of course, there was nothing like becoming head. She was Mama. But she started doing, taking care of all departments and coordinating all departments, assigning them what they have to do. So of course she was very, very um, clever, I must say, or very smart. Because when you know everything, you have authority, you know what is right, and you have to assign. But if you are very sweet and you know that you are only instrument, then all those they listen. And then not only listen, but transformation happened. And they were able to do their duties, take care of their responsibilities in a very, very loving way. You have seen how Brahma Baba himself, all, all of them, dadis, in a group will go clean bus, clean dishes, cook the food. They always had to do in a big groups. And they were very happy to do. And as Dadi Gulzar shares with us that if 85 of them can sleep in a hall, right? Must be big hall. So, so they worked 12, 15, 20 different duties, and then they will change the duties because Baba used to say every child should know everything to do all round, we say. So I feel this since morning, I don't know, I feel so much presence of Mama and see the importance of her role. Of course, whatever situations happened and challenging challenges in her personal life, but she played a beautiful role as Mother Saraswati. And I have many, many experiences with her that she came to Delhi 5 days. I was still in university, but we hosted her. Then I was in Jammu, Kashmir. She came there for 5 days in Jammu with us. So I had very, very good relationship. And so since morning, I was feeling a lot of love. Of course, it's lap of love, but she was real mama. I must say, real mother and a good example. Very, very loving, but of course detached. That's why she was able to manage whatever different children were going through. For her was very normal. Even she was very young. We get stressed very quickly, but not with Mama. Her faith, power of knowledge, and one of the important thing is remembrance of Baba was very natural. You never saw her struggling for remembrance. So we had lovely mother, and I think you all did get sustenance from lovely mother. You all got it, but you won't remember because you were not with her in this last birth. But she was very, very lovely, I must say, very detached. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So, so now we will be listening more about our Jagdamba Ma, lovely mother. For that, I would like to invite our dear Brahma Kumari sister angel Gayatri. Please welcome, and we'll have reflections and we'll hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, as the daughter of Brahma, I am so privileged to be talking about Mama. Mr. Mohini shared some beautiful things, qualities about Mama, and those qualities, of course, are what made her lap of love such a place of strength for Baba's children. And so today we are going to be looking at being in her lap of love, how that love made us see and accept. So I'll ask you to put the homework slide on so we could start with the homework. So for our Amrit Vela and tomorrow all day, and also for tomorrow night before we go to sleep, this is what we'll be keeping in our awareness. Something that was Mama's mantra. And that is, she always would say, not only is God watching me, but also the whole world is watching me at every step. So because tomorrow is Mama's Day, maybe we could add in, not only is God watching me, but Mama is watching me, and also the whole world is watching me at every step. So we'll practice our Smriti Swarup. And I'd like to explain to you this term Smriti Swarup. So Smriti Swarup literally means the embodiment of awareness or remembrance, because Smriti is also remembrance. It's recalling something that is there within me. And so when Sister Mohini said, there was this understanding and there was a knowing but it's also something that's in me. And what she also said, the whole practice of Smriti Swarup is to make something that I am natural, to go back to this natural way of being, and that is to be naturally a soul. So Baba said that your eternal form is the form of awareness. So our eternal form is to be a soul. And that form brings that awareness to us. And it gives us power. Your form is not just of thoughts, but it is the embodiment. So for the practicing of our making the Smriti Swarup of our eternal form natural, we would sit on the seat of the pure awareness of our eternal form. And the reminders are who I am, what I am, and whom I belong to. Now, with this practice, we will listen in order to become an embodiment of the awareness. So I will listen to and become an embodiment of the awareness of my eternal form. I will have this practice as I listen to Ramesh Bhai's story of his relationship with Mama. What Ramesh Bhai is describing in this episode, today's episode, is that he was sustained by Mama. He was sustained by Mama's Murli. And why I'm sharing these episodes from Ramesh Bhai is because what she taught him, he became the embodiment of. And so when he was facing something in relation to her, the awareness came from that very powerful embodiment that he became. And I think this is something very important for us to understand, that when we get so much from the seniors, Ramesh Bhai got so much from Mama, from the lap of Mama's love, where he was sustained with her Murli. But when the test comes, what happens? Do we give the return of that? And in these episodes, Ramesh Bhai showed how he gave the return of that. So this is episode 2, and it is focused on love sees and accepts. So this is what Ramesh Bhai said. After being with us for 3.5 months, Mama returned to Madhuban. The doctor advised us to bring Mama back to Mumbai every 3 months for a checkup. And so Mama continued to visit us in Mumbai. On January 12th, 1965, Mama was taken to the Tata Hospital for her regular checkup. And the doctor saw her and asked her to return in 3 months' time. Being cleared by the doctor, Mama went to Bangalore for 2 months from Mumbai and then to Pune. She returned to Mumbai on April 18th for her usual 3-monthly checkup. For this particular visit to the doctor, Jamuna Ben, who was Mama's assistant, and Dr. Anila, Ramesh Bhai's Lokik sister, accompanied her. I did not accompany them as I was occupied with some important office work. When I returned home, I saw Dr. Anila's face looking sad and pale. I took her out onto the balcony of our home and I asked her, "Why is your face so pale? Tell me what the doctor said." She replied, "You won't be able to hear it." I said, "Don't worry about me. I have to face the reality. The truth will not disappear by being hidden." Dr. Anila said that Mama's cancer was spreading rapidly and had reached her lungs. And the doctor explained that Mama would only live for a maximum of 3 to 4 months. You could imagine how Ramesh Bhai felt, but the strength love sees and love accepts. Tell me the truth, I'll be able to deal with it. So now let's practice together for 3 minutes and reflect on this question. Let us do it within the context of remembering Mama's mantra. Not only is God watching me, but also the whole world is watching me at every step. So not only was Shiv Baba watching Ramesh Bhai, but also Mama may have been watching him, and the whole world was also watching him. All of us are now anxious. We're curious to know what happened after. So let's reflect on this question. Brother Ramesh's love for Mama was so pure and true, like a child and mother, that he knew he had to face the truth, no matter what that truth may be. Now, the question. What Smriti, what awareness would you need to accept and face a similar situation? So this question will remain on the screen and we will reflect on it for 3 minutes in silence. What awareness, what Smriti would you need to accept and face a similar situation?
शीतल शीतल आंचल में जो आया भूल नहीं सकता सुनकर माँ की मीठी लोरी सुनकर माँ की मीठी लोरी कोई दूर न जा सकता राव रंग का सभी रंग का देह भान गलते देखा हे जगदम्बे तेरी गोद में सब जग को पलते देखा माँ की ममता क्या होती है माँ तुझ में हमने देखा गई कोर्ट में किया था गर्जन सुना तुम्हें शेरा
Om Shanti. Thank you. That was wonderful experience.